All right. Good morning, my wonderful music students at Notre Dame Collegiate. You're getting this video in your Google Classroom if you're in grade 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. And so if you're getting it in your Google Classroom, I'm going to encourage you to also share your screen somehow with your family members because chances are they're going to want to hear some of this information as well. So welcome to bands at Notre Dame during weirdness of COVID in September of 2020. How does that look? Well, actually, it wasn't that long ago that I discovered that how exactly band can work inside our schools with the proper protections of masks for the instruments and spacing and so on and so forth. But the great news about that is that we can actually play our instruments. We don't have any restrictions that completely prevent that, and so we're going to play. How that looks, though, is entirely dependent upon when I get those masks in for the instrument. So I only just recently found that stuff out. So I've already ordered all the masks in for the instruments. They are going to be coming at no cost to you guys. But we can't play in the building until those masks arrive. We might be able to do some outdoor learning, and that's so Prairie Sound is just going to have to get used to a little bit of extra sounds coming from Notre Dame Collegiate now, and that's perfectly fine. So plan for the idea that we might be making some music outdoors, therefore have appropriate outdoor attire, including nice shoes. Please don't wear flats or high heels, they hurt. And of course, jackets in case we need them as well. So make sure you come to each of those classes prepared with that. When we are not able to play outdoors for whatever reason, or when we are indoors only, we will need to have some other devices so that we can still do some music-y type things anyway. The big one is your headphones and not the earbuds. The earbuds are actually proven to create ear infections and damage hearing a whole lot faster. So let's not go with that. Let's go with over-the-ear headphones. I had a student ask me if Bluetooth is fine. I said yes, but I'm not going to be the tech support person. So if you can do the Bluetooth, cool. If you aren't certain, get one of the wired ones that go into the Chromebooks. And I will have Chromebooks available for when we need those things as well. But we are going to be using our instruments even if we can't play them immediately. My plan for the next little while is to provide all of our music students in grades 8 through 12 with the music that we would normally work with and have us do some silent practice at the beginning, get the fingerings, because we know that sometimes the fingerings are the biggest challenge. That'll be a few minutes at the beginning of each class. We'll talk about body mechanics, and we'll talk about some of the other things that come with it, like timbre, texture. We'll do some score study that is more easily done if we actually have the instruments in our hands. So we will be using the instruments every single class. When we have the ability to play in class, we might not be able to get everybody to fit in because we have some physical distancing measures that we need to take in place. So we have the luxury of having some educational assistants at Notre Dame Collegiate join each of our band classes. And those educational assistants are going to help me split the group into two different pieces so that one half of the group can be playing in the class and the other half of the group can be doing some of the other projects that we're going to be doing throughout the year as well. Now, many of the students are already familiar with some of these projects. The Breezing Through Theory, that's not new. But some of the projects I've got planned for us are very new, such as a unit of instruction on black music, or my favorite one, which is going to be the first assignment that we do this year, is you're going to fix my playlist, students. You're going to pick one piece of music that you think I should like, and then go through the process of convincing me. And that's going to be your first assignment. So we're going to have a lot of fun with the idea of getting through some of this music in a unique way and still be able to play our music when it comes time to performances and such. We'll give you some more details about those when we get there, but we're not anywhere near there yet. So, generally speaking, what a September band class looks like for grades 8 through 12. You will arrive. You will get your instruments. You will need to make sure you do so in the regular cleanliness way that we have been discussing in class. For the first chunk of time of the class, I will provide you with a piece of music, and we will work on that one section of music, kind of analyze it, listen to it, and I will also play a recording of it so that you know actually how it goes. You will be sent home every week with a simple, tiny little assignment that you can do in Charms. It's generally speaking going to be about 4 to 8 bars long, depending on how old you are. Grade 8s, it's going to be 4 bars long. Grade 12s, it's probably going to be 8 bars long, something along those lines. Pieces, little chunks of music that you can record at home with the backing tracks that I already have. It'll all take you all of about 15 seconds to do it if you already know what you're doing. If you have to practice, then obviously it'll take a little bit more, but it shouldn't take more than 15 minutes a week to get it done. And that way we can splice together learning for one full piece of music over a little period of time, which is not unusual. That's exactly how we do it in concert band anyway. We're just going to be playing at home where you don't have to worry about the masking, recording it there and sending it into Mr. Windsor. And when we can play together as a group in the school, piecing it all together there too. The rest of the classes are going to be on some of the other projects, and one of those other projects that I'm kind of excited about is some of the culturally based music projects. Like I said, black music, indigenous music. There's actually even going to be a section on Filipino tribal music, which is not the stuff that you get in Manila. It's the stuff that you get across the mountains. So we're going to be talking about all of those things and discovering them as well. The other great thing about it is the music that we're going to be choosing this year is not going to be festival-based literature. It can be anything we want. It can be the Skyrim soundtrack. It can be Jurassic Park. I don't care so long as I can teach through it, which is pretty close to all music. I'm going to be willing to use that music. So if you guys have a plan or have an idea for a piece of music that you really want to try out, please share it with me. And know that a lot of the music that we're going to be choosing, we may end up doing some collaborative projects with the art classes and the drama classes too. There you go. Quick little snapshot of what band is going to look like, at least in September, if not further. And I'll give you some more updates as the year goes along. Please share this video with everyone. Oh, there is one other thing. It's not just concert band, right? So if you wanted to get involved in some of the other groups that can actually play immediately, you should know how to do that, right? So the way that you can get involved in this, we're going to start with Panorama. So if you wanted to get involved in the Steel Pans group, you need to make sure you sign up for it. And the way that I'm going to have you sign up for it is by joining the Google Classroom code for Panorama, which is this one right there. So go to Google Classroom and join a new class, type in that code, and that will tell me that you are interested in doing Panorama on Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock. And if you don't remember what Panorama is, that's the Steel Pan Ensemble. That's not the only group that we have. The good news for Panorama, though, is that we don't have to worry about any unusual masking with it. We can actually start it right away, so it will be starting on September 9th. Okay, that's next Wednesday that it's going to be starting, so we can get going on that right away. Another group that we can get going on right away is the String Ensemble, and so here is the Google Classroom code for the String Ensemble right there. So if you wanted to get involved in playing violin, viola, or cello, then you can, of course, join that group by way of joining the Google Classroom code there. And we are going to start that one fairly quickly, too. We're not going to start it next Tuesday, because that's a Tuesday after a long weekend, and we're all kind of still getting used to things. We will start it on September 15th instead, though, okay? So September 15th, that is the day that we will start the St. Cecilia String Ensemble. If you already have your string instruments, bonuses. If not, then you and I can discuss how we're going to get you your instrument rented from Long and McQuaid. The last group that we can get people involved in if they would like is, of course, the Woodshedders, the stage band. Now, stage band is not going to start until October, and the reason it can't start until October is because all of our grade 7 students haven't got their instruments yet, and some of them haven't even selected their instruments yet. So we will not begin the Woodshedders, we will not begin the stage band until October. However, when we do begin it, we're going to go straight into it with some Give Me Some Lovin' from the Blues Brothers or something along those lines. If you want to get involved in that group, playing saxophone, trombone, trumpet, bass guitar, piano, drums, then join that Google Classroom code too. So there you go. That's all of the ways that you can get into these classes, and that is the only way I'm going to know that you want to get involved in those groups is by having you join those Google Classrooms. So make sure you go to those codes, and if you missed one, rewind the video. That pretty much covers what we needed to cover for September's music for grades 8 through 12. Thank you guys very much for joining the music program. Thank you families for supporting your students' music educational opportunities. And yeah, we'll have a lot of fun this year. Cheerio!